Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Friday to you all. Welcome to another live beer review. So, this is going to be a fun one because I've never had anything from this brewery before. Plus, I've heard about them. When I was down in Houston a month or two ago, I was looking, when we were all going out to eat and all that stuff, I was looking for a place where we can all eat, and this place was on the list of places to go as well. So I'm finally excited to be able to drink this beer. So today we're going to be taking a look at one from SpindleTap Brewery. They're out of Houston, Texas, and today we got their Sticky Fingers Double IPA. So from what I saw, this is like one of their namesake kind of double IPAs, which is pretty exciting because I think this is even on tap at the brewery right now, which is really cool, and I think it's probably available year-round. So if you're in Texas, you could probably get this at your local craft beer, liquor store, or bottle shop, which is nice. So, yeah, it's a double IPA brewed with, Simcoe and Citra hops. So those are two kinds of hops that always work really well together because the Citra always brings off nice citrusy flavors, kind of brings off like a nice acidity almost to it. And then the Simcoe brings in a nice, like, another round of citrus, plus it brings in, like, some stone fruit and berry notes in there to kind of balance out the overpowering citrus that if you use these two together. So I think it's a hops that works really well when you pair these two. So I think, yeah, it comes in an 8% ABV, I believe, too. And this brewery is actually really cool. So I was looking on their website a little bit and see what they're all about. Before we even get into the beer, I just want to say this brewery is like an adult playhouse practically. So they have soccer fields in their like brewery, so that you can play cornhole, football, soccer, basketball. They even have a mini golf course at the brewery, which I think is pretty damn awesome. They have like a little putt 9-hole mini golf course in the back of the brewery to where you can mini golf and drink beer, which I think is pretty damn cool. And there's so many different things that you can play, kickball, kind of stuff. Like being an adult, bringing out your inner kid while enjoying a beer, I think is a cool situation. And plus, they have a bunch of different kind of like food options as well. When you go there on, say, wood-fired pizzas, of course, if you go there on Tuesdays, you can take advantage of Taco Tuesday. And Wednesdays, they have steak night, so they serve steaks up over there, which I think is pretty cool. So, yeah, this place looks pretty badass. So, big shout-outs to SpindleTap for actually creating that kind of location. But with this one, I'm pretty damn excited. I love IPAs with these two kind of hops, of course, with it being a double IPA. I'm a big fan of IPAs anyway, so when it comes to a double, it's just, yes, give it to me in my face hole. So I'm expecting a lot of citrusy notes, hopefully a nice kind of like, I think the Simcoe is going to bring in like a nice balanced sweetness from those flavors you'd be getting of like passion fruit and stone fruit, plus like little berry notes kind of in there as well to kind of balance out the citrus that the Citra is going to bring into it. But I'm hoping this thing is hazy AF. From what I saw in the pictures on Untapped, it looks super hazy, almost cut to the point where it's like a bright yellow in color, which is really nice. Expecting a nice, hopefully a juicy kind of mouthfeel, maybe pillowy, soft mouthfeel. That would be nice as well. But without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what we get on the smell. Let's see. Oh yeah, right off the back, getting that slap in the face of citrus that Citra always brings. It's like a grapefruity citrusiness that comes along really on the first of it. Getting like a slight sweetness. It could be like the maltiness kind of coming through along with the natural sweeter notes that the hops brings off as well. Yeah, it smells absolutely delicious. So, I'm going to be drinking out of my Whistle Punk glass today, and let's see how this guy pours. I want this to be hazy AF, so let's see if it is. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, this is a hazy boy, which I am all for. Definitely has that almost yellowish color, like bright yellow color to it. Nice pillowy soft head on the top, but that just looks absolutely delicious. Has that almost very, very bright yellow kind of color on the camera, but yeah, this is what I look for. Yeah, still getting that nice bright citrusy notes on the nose. Definitely still getting the sweetness coming through a little bit, so I'm expecting this to be kind of a nice, more balanced double IPA, which I'm hoping for. I don't think it's going to be too acidic because I'm not really getting much acidity on the nose. But yeah, about time that we give this guy a try. So, cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That is fan-frickin-tastic. So, right off the bat, bright in-your-face citrusy flavor. Super, super refreshing. You definitely get like a grapefruity kind of thing. Of course, you're getting like a nice kind of tropical fruit note added in there from the Simcoe being added there. Slight notes like passion fruit, maybe getting a little bit of mango on there as well. But yeah, it's super balanced. It's a very, very nice kind of sweetness that balances out the hoppiness that comes in, because you don't want it to be too acidic, of course, because it kind of gives you the... If there's a beer I've had, a couple beers that I've had that have almost been too acidic, to where it kind of gives you a feeling that you're going to get acid reflux after a couple gulps, which this is not doing that one bit. And so, yeah, wow, this is pretty damn fantastic. Yep, I can definitely see why this is like one of their namesake kind of double IPAs, because they did a fantastic job with this. Yeah, the citrus is so like slap you in the face. Definitely doesn't really have as much of a hoppy bite at the end as I thought, but you definitely still tell, like, you get that natural bitterness that the hops usually brings off at the end. Then it kind of gets flushed away by like a natural sweetness as well from the malts being used in there, along with the kind of the sweeter flavors the hops brings off after they've been put into the boil or the whirlpool and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is pretty damn awesome. This is like the perfect summer double IPA, I think, just because all those flavors remind me of summer, and it's just fan-freaking-tastic. So, looking here on Untapped, of course, if you can't get your hands on anything from SpindleTap, Untapped is always really great with showing different breweries that may be similar to this without needing to try to find this one. So, looks like 2 of these on here are from SpindleTap, but there's a couple of these that you people might recognize. So we got one from WeldWorks Brewing Co. called Electric Moss, which they say would be similar. And then we got 2 of them from SpindleTap called the Houston Hazier, and then another one called It's All Gravy, and then one from Fair State Brewing Cooperative called New Territories, and then a very popular one that a lot of people might know of is they consider this a similar bit of this one, which is the Space Dust IPA from Elysian. So, if you've had the Space Dust, if you enjoy that, you most likely will enjoy this one, which is pretty damn good, because I know the Space Dust is actually absolutely delicious. And if it's bringing off... I'm trying to remember the last time I had the Space Dust. It's been a minute. But, yeah, this one is absolutely fantastic. This is definitely up there with, like, my style of double IPA for sure. Not really getting a booziness, kind of getting a decent lacing on the side of the glass though, which is nice. Kind of means that it's going to have like a heavier gravity, heavier body to it. But overall, the flavor is fantastic. It's explosively refreshing in your face. And so let's see what some of the ratings are. But before I go on the global ratings, I always like checking to see if anybody on my friends list checked this one in. And of course, my father did, gave it a 3.75 out of 5, purchased off Tavor, which is where we got this. And of course, some verified locations, in a lot of them are showing in the Texas area, so you can find the stuff in the Richardson Beer and Wine in Richardson, Texas. You can find it at SpindleTap. You can find it at the Total Wine and More in Louisville, Texas. Let's see, the place called the Eskimo Hut on Slide, which is in Lubbock. And then we got the Bearded Monk in Denton, Texas. So if you want to get your hands on the Sticky Fingers from SpindleTap, you might be able to find it pretty easy in Texas, so which is really nice. So let's look here. So like I said, it's an 8% ABV brewed with Simcoe and Citra hops. And it's with over 3,004 ratings. This one has an average rating of 4.17 out of 5, which is pretty damn good for being like a namesake IPA and having that many ratings, still having a rating above a 4. Yeah, I think that is pretty fantastic. So let's see what people had to say about this one. This person gave it a 4.75, saying, I like it, very tasty and very hoppy. Which, yeah, the hoppy flavors in this ones are fantastic. So let's see. This person gave it a 4.25 out of 5. Let's see. This guy purchased this at SpindleTap. I guess he must have had a barley wine before this, because he's chosen IPA to really get that barley wine flavor out of his palate, which IPAs are great for like being a palate cleanser, especially when you've had like heavier beers and you kind of want to refresh the palate. A good IPA is definitely a good way to do it. He gave this a 4.5. Let's see, we got a 2 4.25s in a row. Let's see, a 3.75. We got another 4.25. Let's see, another 4. He made a funny remark saying tastes like copyright infringement just because it looks like he showed the album cover for the Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers kind of thing, where it's showing the pants, which is fine. I don't think it's copyright infringement. There's really nothing showing about it being a Rolling Stones like homage besides it just being called Sticky Fingers. Let's see, we got this person gave it a 5 out of 5, saying that danky stanky. Let's see this guy. What else he had? He gave this a 4, saying he's just trying to drink through some of his older IPAs, which this was on the list. So yeah, pretty good ratings overall on this one, I would say. A lot of over 4, so that's pretty damn good. So yeah, Kentucky, if you like the Space Dust, you most likely will enjoy this one. That's for sure, because this is absolutely delicious. So yeah, pretty good ratings overall on Untappd, which is really good. I think the lowest I saw it was a 3.75, which is with having a 3.75 rating is still pretty damn good. You're getting above average with almost everybody you drink. So let's see what we're going to start doing about ratings on this guy. Let's see if I can pour the rest of it into the glass. Yep. And let's look at can art, which I really enjoy. Of course, you have the token SpindleTap kind of logo in the front, which takes up most of the front of it. I like that they kind of took advantage of putting their mark on it, and then they kind of took advantage as well of just having a bunch of detailed like squigglies in the background. I really like that's definitely eye-catching to me, along when it kind of fades from like the green going to yellow, going to orange, and going to that reddish purplish kind of thing, going down into like a darker blue purple. So it's like that holograph rainbow kind of situation, which I think is a really nice touch. And then they did the same on this side with, like, instead of going to like the yellows, they started going to like the darker greens, more into the blues, and then into the purples. So yeah, like if you went into a liquor store or bottle shop and you like went in there when there's like the perfect time where the sun was hitting the glass cabinets or something like that, and this would just sparkle, shine, have that rainbow effect kind of coming from it, and kind of create that you have to come look at me kind of experience, which I think is pretty damn cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this, so I'm going to give this one a very, very solid 4.25 out of 5 for can art. Really, really nice. So let's see. If I went to SpindleTap and got this beer at a flight, would I get another one? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I would probably get a couple 4-packs to bring back to wherever I was staying, just because it's just, this is the kind of like nice citrusy IPA that I look for. It's not too acidic, it's not too citrusy to where it just, you don't really taste any of the back notes and stuff. You're getting all the flavors, the hops you want. You get like a nice kind of tropical fruit sweetness that gets added in there from the natural flavors of the Simcoe. So yeah, it's so well balanced. It's so easy to drink. It's light, like pillowy, soft mouthfeel. Not oily in any kind of way for a mouthfeel. Just, it's like drinking a cloud practically, which I absolutely love. So let's start thinking of what we're going to do for a final rating on this guy. I've had stuff from Mod 13 before. Liam, I'm trying to remember what I've had from them. I know I've had a few things from Mod 13. They make some good stuff. But let's see. I think I'm going to give this one a very, very solid 8.5 out of 10 for this guy. If you can get your hands on this one from SpindleTap, I would definitely recommend it. They've look like they have a pretty cool location as well. So if you're in the Houston area and want to just have a day to where you can just have some fun, drink some beers, and possibly mini golf at a brewery, go make your way over to SpindleTap. I think you'd have a pretty good time. You can do so many different activities if you want to play basketball, kickball, all that kind of stuff. You get a nice group going. I think that would be pretty damn cool. So other than that, that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live to another review. I have reviews planned all weekend for you guys, so keep an eye out for those. But let's see here. Of course, if you want to get your hands on stuff from SpindleTap, if they're not available in your area, you can always I can always recommend Tavor. You just gotta download the app, follow the prompts, and it may be a little tricky here and there trying to figure out if Tavor can ship to you, but you'll find out right away if you create an account with them and then they say they can deliver it to you, you're perfectly good. They'll let you know right away if they can't. So don't want to be leaving you guys high and dry on ordering from Tavor and not being able to do it. So just keep that in mind. You may not be able to get it delivered to you in some places just because shipping laws and Tavor taking advantage of small courier services and all that. But other than that, of course, you guys hear me talk about Untapped all the time. Highly recommend any craft beer drinker getting yourself on there. It's a great social media platform for beer drinkers out there. It's pretty much all beer related, anything on there. You could check in beers, get badges, talk to other people, see what your friends are drinking, see what's popular in your area and all that kind of stuff. See what is popular on your like global kind of thing. So you can go on to like the global kind of rating to see what people are checking around the freaking country, which I think is pretty cool. So always going to recommend people getting on there. It's available on Android or iPhone, or you can even get yourself on your computer, your desktop, and use it through the web browser. I think it works just as good using it through that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it. So again, thank you everybody for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.